Okay, it's 4:30. We're going to start. Alan, ask your question one at a time. You're on stage, Caleb.
Oh, okay. The first question was, when we're looking at a card, is it us standing there or is it us looking in a mirror?
It's a very, very, very not, well, I won't say the beginning. I mean, I ain't read the goddamn book in 50 years. But somewhere close to the beginning of the thing, the guy says you're looking at the card, and he says on the left-hand side, and he's talking about his right, you see this one woman. And then on the right-hand side of the card, and he's talking about his left, you see this other woman. And that's why, no, he goes right at the beginning. And so it's like, it's a matter of perception. But then he goes on to specifically identify the woman on his right as the woman on the left. This is not, no, look. This isn't like Franz Barden or Dion Fortune or some of that crap where you just go, oh, run around and do this and do that. This is, we're interchanging the way your head works. We're trying to give you control over your space. We're trying to make you a magician or a priestess. This is not, I mean, when you're looking in the mirror and it really looks like you, how are you sure which one you are? But it's like, you know what I'm saying? This is shit to work with. You turn around, you go left to right. You know, left to right. Or right or left. From the time we began this thing, this is what the conceptual tarot is. From the time we began this thing, I've been pounding it into you. It's up to you. Now, do you want to be the good lady or the bad lady? You see, I've always preferred to be the individual making the choice. I always preferred to be the little young man in the Senate. You know, I've always preferred that. I've always enjoyed the concept of being able to, for myself, not for you, not for society, not for the world, but I've always enjoyed that concept of free will that is so wonderful within modern theosophy that allows me to choose. Maybe the one on the right is a blonde and I prefer brunette. Maybe the one on the left isn't competent. It's like I prefer to choose. This is hermetic. This is hermetic. It doesn't have anything to do with right or wrong. You would not be allowed this far in this course if there was any question whatsoever of your ethics. We don't care about your morals. We don't care if you got 100 wives, or 5 wives, or 1 wife, or you're fucking your kid in the ass, as long as you got ethics. This is the theosophical, quintessential exposition on ethics. Do no harm. Do no harm. You see? That's what this is. Get the morals out of the way. Get the judgments out of the way. As long as you harm no one and pursue self, you will be successful on this path. This is Lamed Va. This is the concept, Lamed Va. This is the righteous man. This is the ability to be righteous. Not the ability to be nice. Not the ability to be correct. Not the ability to make everyone love you. This is the ability to be true to self and harm no one else. Your path is you. There are 7 billion people here. You are one. And every one of them 7 billion are a little different. Your job is to be yourself. Now, if you happen to be one of them selves that enjoy harming people, we're one of them anarchical type crusader aspect societies where, like, if you get too close to me, I'm allowed to remove you. I'm allowed to give you another body. I am allowed to give you another chance. But other than that, we don't judge. Other than that, we don't judge. The eye and the ear. The eye and the ear. Why didn't he pick the mouth and the nose? The eye and the ear. Why, when they developed this concept, if it's supposed to represent the 5th chakra, the 5th power center, whichever you prefer, why didn't they pick the mouth and the nose? What difference would it make? If somebody's blind, you're going to say they don't stand a chance. Maybe it's the ear and the mouth. If somebody's deaf and dumb, maybe it's the nose and the mouth. You understand what I'm saying? It's your space. That's what Hermetics is. Hermetics isn't follow me. Hermetics has got nothing to do with following me. If you try to do what I do, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Hermetics is following self. Once you reach the understanding within self that you have no desire to harm anyone. That doesn't mean you won't. It means you won't have any desire to. Next question, Alan.
My next question was, is the Buddha representation for Va as a male as valid as the eye and ear?
The builders of the additive have been around since before the inception of the Templar. The concept of the nail. And please try to follow me now. We'll get into some heavy theosophy. The concept of the nail. One cross. Yad-He, Vad-He. 3 nails. 3 nails. Boda now. 3 of each nail. Left, right, feet. 3 nails. So, you know, 1 cross and 3 nails equals 4 given. Say, we taught the Jesus freaks how to use that. 1 cross, 3 nails, 4 given. Pretty heavy shit. See, you have to, the most difficult thing that we deal with, now we're doing pretty good with the young kids, because they haven't achieved as much belief suppression and stuff like this in their aspect. In fact, we're doing real good. I'm pleased to announce that I can almost assure you there will be no apostasy. The more an individual settles into their ways, the more difficult it is for him to go back to non-dogmatic way. Your job is self, as long as you don't hurt someone else. That's what Hermetics is. What Hermetics is, once we get you to that point, and this is the point right here, Va, righteous man, see, Lamed Va. See? So, this is like what you are, what you see, smell, taste, hear, and feel. And we make it very, very, very damn explicit. If you want to screw the nun or the bigot, it doesn't matter, as long as you're honest with yourself. And this was all done, Cindy, you have to forgive me, from a very patriarchal point of view, but you have the same option as a lady, too. Do you want to be with this one or that? There is no right or wrong in that decision, even possible. There is no right or wrong in that decision possible. The right or wrong comes from whether or not you are trusting self. That, you know, everybody may go, oh, what a good person. What a good person. But if you really wanted to do the other thing, you're going to hell. If you really want to do the other thing, and you believe you were made by God, you're going to hell. If God made you, He made you, and you're supposed to be you. That's how we do it. So we're coming into this concept now in this process where that trust in self is going to become totally valid, because every point from now on, every one we do, every kind of we do, you're going to have to decide which you prefer. And if I do my job correctly, and I'm pretty damn good at it, I mean, I get about 1 out of 100. I get about 1 out of 100, but I do get 1 out of 100. And you're going to change your mind 10 different times until we get to the stop. But my job is to allow you to identify self. What worked, what didn't. What made you happy, what made you sad. Sometimes what made Alan happy may make Doma sad, may make Cindy happy, may make me sad. That's not. In order for unity to exist, we have to be separate. Okay, Alan, next question. He had 4 of them. Sort of thing.
In the Logos Jnana Va is neutral air and silence.
Right.
But on the altar, we use a tonal, anything but silent.
So? How can you possibly not understand how sound could represent silence? My friend, 30 fucking years.
I thought it meant that our mind and our voice is silent.
That works fine. It doesn't mean anything. It means you. So I turn around and I'm admittedly a rather elderly gentleman. I don't know about the gentleman part. and I'm going to get on a goddamn bicycle. I've had people bitching at me for the 2 weeks since I decided. But all that bitching, all that stuff, see, that feeds my thought form. That's my gasoline. You know, I'm going to get out there and kick ass. I don't bother trying to explain it to them. I like them to think I'm nuts. Every time they see somebody bicycling down the street, they're going, that goddamn old man is going to do that with a trailer behind it. He's not. And see, I get juiced. It's like pulling up to the gas pump. I get juiced. You have to be self. See, the concept of hearing and seeing is less than half the concept of being. You have 5 senses. And the concept of the righteous man, the concept of I am, that concept, I am, surpasses all 5 of the others. That's Hermetics. Hermetics is becoming self to such an extent that anybody that crosses your path is in one way or another influenced. And developing the ability to push that influence in the direction you wish it. You're not allowed to interfere with their free will, but you are allowed in opine. See, we're having fun, huh? You are allowed in opine. I'm still 60 feet short of my 174 for the year. I hope all 4 of you join me. Nancy ain't here, but she's taking care of her sore problem. Still 63 short. I don't know if everybody knows what that is, but the most major adepts ever made by, ever assisted over by a magician ever in history. It's been 173, and so like by December 21st, I want 174. I want to be famous like Jesus or something. All right, what's the next question? Okay, we'll let Doma ask it from Barden's perspective. Why shouldn't we be ourselves? What'd you say? Why shouldn't you be yourself?
If your ego has not been dissolved yet or overcome.
Who the fuck gave you the right to decide that? Your job is to be self. If the Va, the eye in the ear, said your ego is supposed to... The problem is finding out whether or not that is the way you're supposed to be. If you're supposed to run around and hurt people, it's very unlikely. And we haven't had any yellows do that in a long time. But then that's what you're supposed to do. So, you've been paying attention to the news lately? They found this Higgs boson. You know, they found the God particle. They found how atoms and molecules make matter. There's a big conflict going right now between science and theology that's actually bringing them closer together. They actually found it last week or the week before or something. But it's like, your job is to be you. You can only be happy being you. There are so few people that actually enjoy hurting other people in their true self, that they're very easy to weed out. But when you create this confusing space, when you create this abstract dichotomy between everything and reality, people sometimes have a difficult time finding out what the hell they think they want to be. They have a hard time. And I don't care if you're dealing with sexuality, material aspects, or anything else. People suddenly have a hard time. Well, what do I want? You know, do I want to be on welfare? Do I want to be a millionaire? You know, there actually are some people that would rather be on welfare. Most of them would rather be millionaires. But, you know, you can only have 1% of millionaires. So it's like, what do you really want? And how can you achieve it without violating your personal ethic? It doesn't have anything to do with morals. If you have to do something that the law says is moral and you end up in jail, well, that's your karma. But if you really feel you should do something like that, you're damn sure supposed to do it. You have to be true to self. It's about you. And the stronger you get at that, the more effective you become. The more effective you become. The more balanced you come within self. The more balanced you come within your acquaintances. The more balanced you come in society. And the more powerful you become. Suddenly people are not afraid of you. They always know what you're going to be. They never have to think you're going to change your mind. You maintain your ethic. Whether you're Hitler or Gandhi. Okay, Cindy, I know I can see right there, right around, and I don't know if anybody can see my mouth, but right there in your throat, there's something that wants to be said.
Oh, I went to put out a deposit. I'm going to rent a space and do more massages. Get more exposure.
I like that. You know what, Cindy, can I tell you something? See, that's exactly what we're talking about when we deal with this concept of temptation. You know, one of the reasons people don't do as good as they should is because they're not doing what they're really good at.
Right.
If there's one thing you learned in the last month, honey, I mean, you can help people.
Right.
I mean, a lot more than making them feel.
Right.
A lot more than making them feel. I mean, you know how it works. I mean, you got the inside track. You know what I'm saying? I think that is an exceptionally ethical approach. You know, you're actually would be violating nothing if you come up with some type of title like, you can add energy just as easy as you can remove it. You might come up with some type of little quirky thing. You can do that. Anytime you had a problem, I'd help you.
Thank you.
I like that. No, I endorse that a lot. Okay, Donald, you gotta have something. You always got something to say. I would like somebody to tell me, there's no one has any questions, is the good woman the one on the right or the left?
Yes.
You got it, girl. You got it. You got it. You see, it's not what's around you that's correct or incorrect. It's what you will. This is a very, very important concept right here. It doesn't matter if it's up or down, or left or right. What you will. To know, to dare, to be silent, and to will. And to will. I mean, do you want to have a long-term relationship, a marriage, a nice thing, maybe children or whatever, or something beautiful like that? Or do you just want to get laid? It's fine as long as it fits in your plan. Do what thou wilt. I mean, Crowley had a lot of good stuff before he went out of line. Your job is to be you. But we don't know what we're doing. You don't. You gotta live it. You gotta be you. This is the whole thing about Va. Say the Lamed in that righteous man concept, that Lamed thing. That's the Lamed is the righteousness. You know, the Lamed is the like, oh, I gotta do good. But the Va is the man part. You know, I gotta be me. You know, screw Judaism. Screw all theosophy. Screw all religions that try to tell you you're supposed to be like anyone except you. The only thing that comes close is the Tao. Be you, but do no harm. See, if you do harm, that's why people are afraid to be themselves, because they're afraid that if they do something wrong, they're going to die and get another body. Well, shit! I mean, fuck, I've been trying to do something wrong for the last 20 years, man. I can hardly get laid anymore. I mean, damn. Today she goes, oh, this fits right in right here. And she told me the average human would understand, and I do not. She said, oh, I remember that. And I said, well, why didn't you tell me? She says, I forgot. You forgot you remembered, or you remembered you forgot?
Right.
Va. You know, you saw it or you heard it? Did it look like what you heard or sound like what you saw? You know, it's a wonderful concept. This is the real base of hermetics. This is where we get our shit together. This is where it's like, oh, I'm actually allowed to be myself. I mean, I mean, I have to trust myself. I mean, goddamn. I mean, you mean I'm not supposed to let anybody tell me what the hell to do? How do you do that? Everybody hates you. I mean, you know, it's like, is she on the left or the right? You want to go this way or that way? If you're more interested in your morals than you are your ethics, don't try hermetics. Hermetics doesn't have anything to do with morals. That doesn't mean you have to be immoral. But hermetics deals with ethics. Truth to self. Truth to self. And look at that, I'm done early. If you ain't got no questions, I can have a cigarette. That was pretty good, actually. That was a pretty goddamn good one today. Yeah, go ahead, gentlemen.
In chapter 5, he talks about vegetarianism. And surprise, I'm a vegetarian. But he says that the maximum that you should go without chicken meat is like 40 days. For a Western person. Is that really...
But this was his ethic. The objective we're trying to do now is give you your own. I don't want your ethic. He don't want your ethic. We're trying to do your ethic. We want you to find your ethic. If you don't want to eat meat, don't eat meat. If you die because of it, you're ready for another body. Big deal. But if you do it for moral reasons, because I won't eat a dead animal. What the fuck? Why is a goddamn leaf of lettuce any better than an ant? I mean, see what I'm saying is ethics. Screw morals. Morals have been created by the theologians. Morals did not exist until when? Come on, somebody. Tell me when morals became a concept.
When religion became a concept.
No, most religions, the old religions are very immoral. Right about the beginning of Judaism. Right about when it turned patriarchal. You know, as long as the women were running the movie, everything was fine. You know, right when it turned patriarchal. But there's nothing wrong with morals. I mean, I hate to see somebody harming a little kid or something like that. The problem that exists there is the individual's lack of ethics and our judgment of his morals. It's our morals are a judgment that we make. We judge the morals. See, ethic does not allow harming anyone else except to protect self. So what we're trying to do this week and next week is trying to make you the most immoral sons of bitches I ever could. But totally ethical. Mores. It's like not paying attention to others' opines, being self. I told Cindy I wanted her to be immoral, and she said, "What?" There are many, many people, I could give you names of people you know that are both moral and ethical. And I could probably mention a few that are moral and so interested in being moral that they're unethical. That they're actually something other than self because they're more concerned about what you think of them. Moral is a concept of others in regards to interest and ethic. So we get into semantics. Actually, next week we'll play with rhetoric and semantics as we continue to break down this dichotomy of thought that takes place in human consciousness. You know, to where I may say one thing, that's rhetoric, but what you understand, that's semantics. We'll get into that. Every one of you I'm totally proud of. If nobody's got any questions, I'm going to have a cigarette, gab with Aggie.